Alright, so I'm trying to figure this out. So I fucked up the objection. I'm gonna say. Okay. Didn't have any identification. We figured out who was written and the investigation went smoothly. There's accounted for. The other lottery ticket. I don't know what I'm supposed to do here. I'm stuck, dude. Ugh. I don't know. I can't figure this out. This is one of those stupid, really fucking ambiguous ones where even though I got a piece of evidence to present, and it's obvious that this is the piece of evidence they want, okay, I can't figure it out. I can't figure this out, dude. Lenny Emmanuel just subscribed to the channel. Thank you for the sub, Lenny Emmanuel. I appreciate that. Alright, the crime was reported at 2:25 p.m. by a scary old man. We already know that. We know who the old man was. When I get past from the shock, must have been real tough for her. Can't think of anything there we could contradict. We didn't have any identification on him. We know that. We pressed. We found out that we had the bag. That's how they figured out who he was. Nothing I could do there. We figured out he was pretty quick. Then the investigation went smoothly. How did you find out? Because you had the bag. Okay. When Maggie was searching, we found the lottery ticket and the bottle of poison. The winning lottery ticket and the bottle of poison. And that was it. Right? That was it. There was nothing else missing from the crime scene. Oh, wait a minute. Okay. There was nothing else missing from the crime scene. Then why did you find an empty prescription bag with no prescription in it? What happened to the prescription? Right? Even though that prescription might literally have absolutely nothing whatsoever to do with this case at all. Alright? This is the one thing where we can say, ah, gotcha, something was actually missing from the scene. So I think that's what we have to push. Okay. Ben Boxer cheered. Said, do you support facial recognition technology? Sure, why not? Let's do this. Detective Gumshoe, I think I should point something out to you. I got it. There's just one small contradiction in your testimony. Thank God. Oh, I was stuck there for like 10 minutes. Oh, finally. I'm getting all anxious just waiting, so hurry up, will you? You testified that nothing else was missing from the crime scene. However, the prescription bag you mentioned was empty. Did the officers recover the medicine from the scene of the crime later? No, they didn't. The victim was given a prescription right before going to Trade Bien. Where then did the medicine disappear to? That's a good question. Shout out to Bad Bunny, who just gifted 5 subscriptions to 5 random people in the stream chat. It was with the 5 sub grouping. And he says, so congratulations to the following 5 people who just received gifted subscriptions. We've got Jawson, Yo, It's You Gaming, Andrew 11235, Boone Wood, and Not Detractor Beam. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at the sub count now. See, we need to update this. The sub count has gone down by 400 subs. So sadly, we're down. No, we're not. According to this, it went up by 1. which means it probably went down by a few during the stream, but then this sub bomb made it go back up again. So thank you to Bad Bunny for the support. And Beast Bro 125 is on a 300-bit cheer. And Beast Bro says the following. Hey, Phil, Sally, I wasn't able to make it to the stream earlier, so I was wondering if you could explain Sauce Day. P.S. Been loving the content on the channel, by the way. Sauce Day is the day when every 2 to 3 months I make a homemade pot of Italian sauce, my mother's recipe that I have actually changed and honed over the years to my own liking. Kat now helps me with it, and it also helps me with the adjustment of the flavors and seasonings and things. And it simmered for 5 hours during my first gameplay stream, and then we had these amazing spicy chicken sausage, mozzarella, and homemade Italian sauce subs on these crusty roll grinders. Oh my god, it was really good. It hit the spot. The only downfall is it takes a lot of washing afterward, a lot of dishes and stuff involved to make this sauce, but it's enough for 6 more meals where we're going to do pasta and other things with it. So pretty cool. Pretty cool, okay? Alright. Thank you, Beast Bro. You're the top cheerer of the day. Let's go ahead and get you up on the leaderboard. That's not Beast. Beast Pro 125. 300 bits. Thank you for that. And also thank you, CM Fool, for the $2 tip earlier, top tip of the night. And to everyone who has contributed so far tonight, I appreciate that. Let's continue, okay? FYI, we've got about 1 more hour. 1 more hour of Phoenix Wright here on tonight's stream. Okay, everybody? Alright. Where then did the medicine disappear to? It's hard to get me to fit in a frame like him. You are too cool, pal. Indeed. Due consideration wasn't given to the victim's prescription in the previous trial. Witness, why do you always overlook such vital pieces of evidence? I guess that's what most careless thing I've done so far, huh? The victim was killed by poison, and the victim's medicine mysteriously disappeared. The victim's own prescription could have been the lethal poison itself! Rubble, 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 rubble! Order, order! Well, Mr. Godot, what do you have to say to that? Huh, that's all. What? Read for the court the name of the clinic on the prescription on the bag, if you will. What's the clinic's name got to do with anything? New ear otolaryngological otolaryngological. Just what kind of illness was the victim suffering from, Mr. Godot? Hardly an illness, Your Honor. More like a bitter war wound, you could say. Much like the smell of this bitter coffee. A war wound? The day before the incident, Mr. Elg found himself in a fight. He took a blow to the side of the head and ruptured his eardrum. Oh, he ruptured his eardrum? Then what on earth was the prescription he was given? It was a cream that was to be applied topically inside his ear canal, not to be ingested. Haha! What? Rubble, rubble! Rubble, 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 rubble! Thank you, Whiteboard Marker, for the 50-bit cheer. I appreciate that. It's mentioned in the autopsy report. If you read the fine print, they found traces of the medication in the victim's left ear. Yes, here it is. It's very, very fine print. It seems Mr. L correctly applied some of this medication while he was at Tribulations. Therefore, it would be absurd to believe that he would have eaten his medication. Reminds me of a joke. The joke goes like this. Dear Preparation H, I am writing you a formal complaint this here day because lady, I ate the whole dang tube and I still got these dang hemorrhoids. Okay, enough of that. I heard that freaking joke when I was a kid. Alright. It seems that this medication is irrelevant to the case after all. No! Nick! If you don't think of something quick, it'll all be over. She's right. But I can't get away with my old weak objection. What should I do? Push it. You gotta push it real good. Do 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 do. Yeah, push it. Ooh, push it real good. We're gonna push it. Here we go. Ready? Push it real good. Only moments ago, Mr. Godot made the following statement. It seems Mr. L correctly applies for this medication while he was at Tribulations. If that's the case, then why was the medication not found at the scene of the crime? Huh? But the medication in question was for topical use inside of the ear canal. That doesn't change the fact that it could not be found at the crime scene. However insignificant it may seem, it's a lawyer's duty to pursue the truth. Objection. You know as well as I do that the medication is irrelevant. Fallen 1570 just did a 400-bit cheer and said, just watching Godot makes me want to have some coffee. Yeah, whenever you see someone doing something like that, like for example, oh, someone's eating a salad, all of a sudden you'll start craving a salad, right? Oh, someone's eating a delicious chocolate bar. Oh man, I want a chocolate bar. So you see him drinking coffee, you start smelling like nice aroma of a deep, rich coffee. And you're like, oh man, I could really go for a nice sip of some deep Colombian blend. I know. Alright, anyway. Ha! It hardly seems likely a prescription drug would contain potassium cyanide. It hardly seems likely that the coffee the waitress served would contain it either. But it did. The possibility is undeniable. Urgh. That's enough. Mr. Godot, is the detective the only witness the prosecution wishes to call? Mr. Godot? I got my own witness I'd like to call, sir. It's the old man who was there in the restaurant on the day of the murder. Victor Kudo, the pigeon hater? Very well. The matter of the disappearing medication seems little more than trivial at best. However, it wasn't explored at all in the previous trial, and that is something that bothers me. Yay! Good job, Nick! The court will adjourn for a 10-minute recess, after which we will hear the prosecution's next witness. Ha! I suppose this means I'll just have to finish you off in my last 6 cups. Court is adjourned for recess. Merry Christmas. Alright. Phew! That was close. Tell me about it. I nearly died in there. That's my line, sir. No, it's my line. I think I really did die a little bit. Looks like we all nearly died in there. Well, Marco Polo, thanks for the cheer, but I'm not going to say what you said. Alright, anyway. I can't believe Detective Gumshoe. How would he betray us like that? Huh? He said he'd help me, but he totally set me up. I don't think he meant to do that, Maggie. He was backed into a corner. I mean, the guy's got to do his job, right? It's okay. I know all about lies and betrayal. I've had it my whole life. But it really hurt this time. It felt like someone punched me hard in the stomach. I hate that guy. I don't ever want to see him again. Poor Gumshoe. Akiora Torius Cheese, what is your opinion on... I never even heard of this. Some kind of coffee? I've never heard of it before, dude. Never. So I have no opinion on it. I don't even know what the hell you're talking about. Alright, poor Gumshoe. So the next witness is going to be that old guy from the park, right? Yeah, Mr. Kudo, lover of waitress outfits and projectile seeds. I bet he's gonna be really stubborn. I mean, he's pretty set in his ways, you know. Yeah, he's a big old grouch. Are you gonna be able to handle him, Nick? Yeah, I can take whatever he throws at me. Even those never-ending bird seeds. Alright, we continue. Rubble. Court will now reconvene for the trial of Maggie Bird. Mr. Godot, your next witness, please. The prosecution calls the lucky old-timer who caught the show over a cup of coffee. Will the witness please take the stand? Name and occupation, if you don't mind. The name's Victor Kudo, born and bred in the land of the rising sun. Honor and duty are what made me. Mind you, I can be quite emotional at times, too. We don't need to hear about that, Mr. Kudo. Just tell the court your occupation. My occupation? Ha! Listen, youngin. How much do you think how much do you think there is for kimono embroidery here? Kimono embroidery? That's what I do or did back in Japan. I embroidered family crests on kimonos. My ancestors were embroidering kimonos before this country even existed. Wow, a real craftsman. They're a dying breed. Hey, maybe he could embroider my costume sometime. Anyway, like I said, there's not much demand for that kind of thing here. So I had to take a job working for a cash register at burger joint, pretending to smile. That burger joint would have been better off putting him in the kitchen. No then, witness. Were you here in the restaurant? Were you there in the restaurant at the time of the incident? Oh yes, I was eating some seeds over a cup of Javachino. Seeds? What do you think these are, huh? I see. So you saw everything that happened, Grants? Did I? Oh yes. Oh yes, I did. I saw it all. Then please tell the court. We're all ears. All right. See you later. See you later, Marco Polo. Have a good night. Sure. I'll tell you. I'll tell you every last detail. He's really getting into this. All right. What I witnessed. The young man was reading the sports paper. The serving girl brought him a Javachino, but she put something in it. The man took one sip of it, looked like he was in terrible pain, and then collapsed. That's the serving girl, right there in the defendant's chair. I remember her well. What a dick. Alright, CM Fool took me $1. He says, I bet you $75 to Connect 3.0 is mandatory. Dude, I would be shocked if they do not sell a version of the Xbox One without a Connect 3.0. Therefore, you are on. There's no way they would ever mandatorily include a Connect 3.0 with the Xbox One's next version, whatever it's going to be. You are on. Ha! Thank you for the $1 tip. All right. Ha! Okay. Mr. Kudo, she's not a serving girl. Please refer to her as a waitress. Ha! Ha! You're just as bad as the rest of them. All these newfangled words. What's wrong with old-fashioned ones, newfangled? All this talk of radios and glasses. It's wireless and spectacles, I tell ya. Excuse me, Listen to me, everyone. Don't forget the old values. Don't forget the good old ways slip away. Well, I think it's time to begin the cross-examination, Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. What I witnessed. Alright, so first of all, he's reading the sports paper. So you saw the victim, then you saw Mr. Glenn Elg. Bleh. I wanted to know, Gutson Braun retained his championship or not. So he was looking at the sports paper the victim was reading, huh? And at the location in question. There were partitions between tables on the same side of the restaurant, right? So what if there are? If you say that you can see the victim, that means you were sitting at a table on the other side of the restaurant, correct? Ha! I go to that place to drink Javachino. I don't go to sit. I don't remember which table I'm sitting at. You mean you go there to eye the waitress? So the serving girl brought a Javachino but put something in it. Mr. Kudo, that is a very grave accusation. Are you sure about what you saw? Victor Kudo never makes mistakes. I dot every T and cross every I. I see. My eyesight's fine. The doctor said I only need spectacles for reading and driving. I bet his eyes are only really fine when he's scoping out a waitress. And I saw what the serving girl put into the Javachino as well. I bet I know what's coming up, but something tells me I'm not gonna like it. Okay. Press harder. Your Honor, we need more clarification on what was put into the victim's coffee. I'd like to ask what the witness add when he knows about that to his testimony. I agree. Witness, will you enlighten us, please? Sure. There's no question about it. She very conspicuously put some white powder in there. Did she really put that into the coffee? You doubt me, boy! She took some out of a small brown bottle and sprinkled it in! Couldn't she have been adding sugar? Sugar! In a small brown bottle like that? Like that? Witness, could you please describe the bottle in more concrete terms? Huh? A bottle like this, perhaps? Oh, there it is! That's the one! That's the bottle of potassium cyanide, I presume. So what did the accused put into the coffee? I think it's clear, don't you? Arr. Alright, so once we realized it was a terrible pain and then collapsed, alright. He took just one sip. Yo, youngins! You waste everything! Those Javachinos cost $8! In the good old days, we would have drank every last drop, even the cup, and then died! Congratulations. You have earned the title of battiest man to visit a courtroom. So it was an immediate death. Well, with potassium cyanide, I suppose that is possible. Oh yes, he slumped over without so much as a twitch. I felt the Javatino I just drank turned sour in my stomach. Oh yes, I do know that feeling. And the waitress, I presume she is? Alright, that's the serving girl right there. You said I remember her well in reference to the waitress. Did she have any particular features you can identify her by? Particular features? It's a disgrace, that's what it is. Sorry? You can see all the way up to her, you know. She's practically naked in that uniform. Ah! So the particular feature you recognize about the waitress is her outfit? But anyone could just wear that uniform, even me! Mr. Wright, please spare the court of any further mental anguish from that image. Ugh! Ugh! Bah humbug! Yuck! Don't get all excited, Nick. You gotta keep yourself together. I guess I got a bit carried away. Ha! There are other things I recognize about her, too. He seems pretty sure of himself. What should I do? Press harder. Okay. Sure, you saw a waitress take the coffee over to the victim. But what matters is whether or not that waitress was Maggie Bird or not. Quite right. Mr. Kudo, these other features that you recognize about the defendant, I would ask you to add them to your testimony. Alright. Sure. There was a ribbon in her hair and her apron straps were loose. You do seem to remember several details about her appearance. But what about the most crucial detail of all, her face? God, as if I wouldn't remember that! The witness noticed the straps on the accused apron. She's unlikely to make a mistake about her face. That's right, I can't even tell you the color of the ribbon in her hair. It was red! So you see, there's nothing wrong with the witness's eyesight. There's no doubt he remembers the waitress pretty well. What should I do? I get the feeling there's something more to this somehow. Ask about the straps of the waitress's back. It could be either. Like, there's really no way to tell what to ask about. I guess if one's not right, go to the next. We'll ask about the straps. Anyway, Frog's playing golf cheered and said drip or drown Phil. I have no idea what that means. Alright, ask about the straps. Mr. Kudo, you seem especially interested in straps. Why is that? What? The ribbon in her hair? The straps on her apron? What's the fascination? Fascination? Objection. People have all kinds of fetishes, right? We don't need to embarrass the witness. Listen, you young upstarts, I haven't got some six-strap fetish. Is there any relevance to the witness's unusual love of straps, Mr. Wright? I was just curious as to what he was so fixated about it for. I said I haven't gotten a strap fetish. How many times do I have to repeat myself? Ah! Very well. Continue with your testimony, Mr. Kudo, and make it strapless. Grumble, grumble. Alright, I gotta push on the other one. Forget the straps. Yeah. Right, I wonder if the waitress you saw was Maggie. Right. So let's push on. Let's put a press on her back instead. Okay. Alright, get back to the point with the question. Alright, the witch is back. Here we go. The identifying features you describe are all things you would see from the back. So what? Is it possible that you never saw the witches from the front at all?
Objection!
Huh! He's got you there, Gramps. People normally talk about facial features when they're asked to describe someone. But this witness's testimony is nothing but straps and ribbons.
Yeah, this is embarrassment, harassment. I'll tell you, I'm not obsessed with straps or ribbons. I'm just telling you what I saw.
Mr. Kudo, the court requests that you add details about any identifying features. Features you observe from the front, that is, to your testimony. Frogs playing golf cheered to say when someone subs, can you say welcome to the pond? No. Alright.
Sure, sure.
As long as testimony is even longer, I gotta find a hole. Alright.
So there wasn't anything that caught my interest about her when I saw her from the front.
You didn't find anything to be distinct, but you did clearly see the waitress's face, yes?
No question about it. I didn't come this far to back down now. Victor Kudo never backs down.
That's not the answer I was looking for, but okay. This turned to be a pride for old CD now. I wonder if he really did see his face. Do we have proof the old guy didn't see the waitress clearly from the front? I think we know. I think I know what to do. I think so. I think I've got it, and I'll show you in a minute. Here we go. Let's go to the last thing he said. So, there wasn't anything that caught my interest about her when I saw her from the front. Dude, her apron was completely covered in stains. There was coffee on the top and what appeared to almost be a shocking blood stain on the bottom. Now, later on, we found out this was ketchup. But you would never... Oh, if you were at a restaurant and a waitress walks up to you completely stained on the front, you're telling me you wouldn't notice that and it wouldn't stick in your head? That's bullshit. That, as the AVGM would say, well, that's bullshit. Bullshit. Ha! Mr. Kudo, I would like you to please take a look at this bullshit.
God, that filthy thing would suit filth like you just perfectly. It kind of reminds me of what my grandson looks like just after he's done eating.
Have you ever seen this before?
Of course I haven't. Do you think I'd forget something as dirty as that, Well, you have what it clocked.
Mr. Kudo, I do believe I've caught you in a line of personal grade A stinky bullshit.
Ha ha! What? What is it? Ever since I said you have what it clocked, there's an eerie silence in here.
Mr. Kudo, this apron is the apron worn by the defendant on the day of the poisoning, you old twit!
Ah!
And as you just said yourself, you wouldn't forget something like this, you dumb shit. Which means, if you had really seen this apron before, you know what I'm getting at. Bullshit!
You couldn't have possibly seen the waitress from the front.
Oops. Oops? Witness, you can't just oops your way out of this. Ha, well. Looks like we finally have a genuine trial on our hands. Ha! Number 5, still alive. Listen, Trey, here are the facts. On the day of the incident, there was only one waitress in the restaurant. That being the defendant, Miss Maggie Bird. Exactly. And when that one waitress put the poison into that coffee cup, this old guy was watching. I hope you understand the gravity of the situation, Mr. Kudo. The fate of the defendant may rest on what you say that you remember seeing. Just tell the court exactly what you saw, Gramps.
You can rely on me, Captain. My noggin is in perfect working order. I can't remember a single occasion when I forgot what burger a customer wanted.
You can't remember? Probably more like he messed up so many times he's blocking it out. Very well, let's test just how good your memory and attention to detail is, Mr. Kudo. Tell us what you remember about the victim. Alright. Oh.
No, I'm just kidding. Let's do this. About the victim. He was another one of those pesky young types wearing a broken pair of spectacles. He had a newspaper in his right hand, and the noisy brat kept rustling its pages. The young man was listening to the wireless. I remember that well. Then the servant girl in question brought over the Javachino. The little fidget picked up the cup with his free hand and took a sip.
The testimony we have just heard was to test how credible the witness's memory is. It seems to me that he remembers the victim in a great deal of detail.
Oh, yes, I hate those you-know-what types who are so vague about everything.
How are we going to handle this, Nick? We only need to do one thing. We just need to prove the young man's memory is shot. Just trip him up, you mean? Isn't that kind of cruel? I suppose, but it's what I do best. Be cruel. That's right. Alright? It's time to cross-examine. Alright, so, he's wearing a broken pair of spectacles. Spectacles?
Dark glasses to you. One of the lenses was green, but the other was broken. Newfangled rubbish. That's why I remember him so well.
He did have some sign of a lens over his left eye, but I wouldn't have called it a pair of glasses. He seems to have been wearing some rather modern-looking shades. Perhaps I should take to wearing some and rival Mr. Godot's sharp appearance.
Ah, we better come up with something sharp and quick. Guess I'll wait and see if I should challenge him about the spectacles.
Oh, I know anything about the newspaper in the right hand, the noisy bracket rustling of the pages. The newspaper was a sports paper, was it?
The young hooligan! I nearly asked him, can't you even read without fidgeting? How was I supposed to be able to read the back page with all that rustling going on? I needed to find out if Gutson brought him his championship title.
It was his paper, not yours. If you wanted to know so bad, why didn't you just buy your own?
What are you looking at me like that for, huh? How dare you judge me? Ow, ow!
Guts and Braun got beaten yesterday, by the way. Anyway. So this is about listening to the wireless. I remember that well. The wireless?
The decadent young rascal! In my day, it was one or the other. Read the paper or listen to the wireless.
Oh, boy.
I'm using an earpiece. It's selfish, that's what it is. I was straining my ears, but I couldn't catch any of it.
Was he that desperate to listen to the radio?
What are you looking at me like that for, huh? How dare you? Take this! Ah! Ha! Ha!
Alright, this servant girl brought over the Javachino. You mean the waitress who you only saw from behind, right?
You're one of those, are you? You never let anything go, isn't that right?
Maybe.
What does it matter if I saw her from the front or the behind? Eyes don't lie! My eyes don't lie! Ah! Ha! 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 Ha!
I better not push it until I've got some hard evidence. Alright. The fidget picked up his cup with his free hand and took a sip. Alright. His free hand? Yes. Which hand was that?
Aren't you listening before, cloth ears? I said he was rustling the newspaper with his right hand, didn't I? Its free hand wasn't his right hand. Then which hand was it, you moron? Ha! 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 Ha!
Huh. Perhaps the great Mr. Trite has 3 hands. Yeesh. I was only asking. Nobody to gang up on me and treat me like a freak. The whole point of this cross-examination is to establish just one thing. That this old guy's memory has more holes in it than a slice of Swiss. Alright, so we gotta find a contradiction. Newspaper in his right hand, the noisy brat kept rustling its pages. Listening to the wireless. Okay. Picked up the cup with his free hand and took a sip. So that would mean that he was left hand, he picked it up and he took a sip. I mean, we know there's a doodle on the newspaper, right? Doesn't it have anything to do with anything? This is another tricky one, man. It had his and Maggie's fingerprints. That's correct. That's gotta be right. There's nothing there. Fire Sakura has tipped me $5. That's the top tip of the night. Thank you very much, Fire Sakura, for that tip. Let me get you up on the leaderboard here. I'm gonna be honest. This game is starting to stump me tonight a lot. Like, I am stuck right now. Again, second time tonight. I don't have a clue if I should be presenting. Let me save. Let me press again. I'm just gonna press and see if anything else opens up. Nothing there. Here was a sports paper. Guts and brawn. Losing to the wireless. Using the earpiece. Huh. And the serving girl brought the Javachino. Only saw the witness from behind. He appeared to the cup with his free hand and took a sip. Free hand. Which hand? Was he gonna say that's the left hand because he was holding it with his right? I'm gonna contradict his last statement, okay? I'm gonna contradict it with the newspaper itself, saying there's a doodle. And to say if he was holding this with this hand and drinking from this hand, how is he doodling? The other thing is we don't know if he was left or right-handed at all. But if he was right-handed, there's no way he could have been holding the newspaper in his right hand and wrote with his left. We don't know that. I'm gonna try it though. I don't know if this is gonna work. Nope. No. Ugh. Fuck. I can't figure this out. Could it be the cup? It's the cup. I don't know why. I just figured if it's not the magazine, it's the cup. So I tried it. Let's see what they say. Mr. Kudo, do you remember what we were told at the start of this testimony? This was a way of testing the credibility of your memory. I know. There's nothing wrong with my memory, I tell you. Nothing. If I got anything wrong, I'll eat these seeds and sing the pigeon song. Care to tell us where this is going, Trey? According to Mr. Kudo, the victim was holding the paper in his right hand while drinking coffee with his free hand, which would have made him his left. God, what is this, kindergarten? But I would like the court to please take a look at this. That's the cup the victim used, correct? Yes, and on the rim, you notice the mark left by the victim's lips. Oh, my God. Dude, I didn't notice that at all. You guys can't see it because my webcam is blocking it. Hold on, watch this. You guys couldn't see this because my webcam was blocking it. So on the rim of the mug, or the rim of the teacup, is the you know, when he's putting it up to his lips. So if his lips touched right there, that means he had to have been holding it with his right hand. The only other way, just think of it this way. The only other way that he could have drank it that way, so if he held it with his left hand, but then he drank it upside down, which means he would have to lift his face forward like this and pour it upside down into his mouth, which obviously he didn't do. So that was actually a piece of evidence that you guys couldn't see because my webcam was blocking it. I certainly didn't fucking notice that. That was just luck that I said it's got to be something, and I pressed it, and that was correct. So, okay. Now, on the rim, you'll notice the mark left by the victim's lips.
Yes, and there's a stain left by the coffee.
If you consider where that stain is, you'll clearly see the victim was holding the cup in his right hand. But how? Well, Mr. Kudo, the court's waiting for your epic performance. You said you'd eat those seeds to sing the pigeon song. Arr!
Mr. Kudo, I'm afraid this is simply not acceptable. I think the witness...
Wait! If you think I'm gonna stand here and listen to you tell me I'm mad, you're wrong. I don't care about that dirty coffee cup, and I know what I saw.
You still insist on your testimony?
The young brat was holding the cup in his left hand. Oh, yes, no question. I'm a good law-abiding citizen, I am. It's a dead young hotbox and you spiky-haired yahoo are all at fault.
Who, me? Thank you, old man. We heard quite enough from you already.
Don't call me old man, you old man. Been around for 68 years, I have. You can't ignore me. Listen to what I've got to say.
I'm sorry, Mr. Kudo, but...
Sure. Why not hear a little more?
Mr. Goodell, what the hell? Can we please get on with this bullshit?
No whiteboard marker. I cannot say frogs instead of subscribers. But this is my 16th cup of coffee. So this is your final stand.
Thank you, Captain. You can rely on Victor. Ha!
Alright, left or right hand. Here we go.
The boy was wearing the earpiece on the same side as the green lens of his specs. He kept fiddling with it all the time. He was fiddling with it just before he picked up the cup, too. And then he used the same hand to pick up the cup, his left hand. Ha! Ha!
You know that the victim was wearing an unusual monocle over his left eye. It wasn't a monocle, Your Honor. It was a small computer monitor, often used by programmers.
A monitor? You mean like the Google Glass that failed so miserably and was a laughingstock of the tech world and people were actually beaten up in the streets for wearing them and kicked the shit out of? Oh, man.
The inside of the lens is the screen that displays computer data. It's called an HMD. It's a common tool in the victim's line of work.
HDTV, DVD, CD, all these newfangled letters drive me mad, but they don't matter. I know what I saw and I'm telling the truth.
It's true. He doesn't seem to be lying.
Oh, and those are the facts. The good old black and white.
Yes, Mirai Masaki, someone in New York City actually wrote a giant article about it. He said he was walking down the street in New York City, and someone started making fun of him for wearing the Google Glass as he walked. So he spoke up and basically said, "Don't make fun of me." And they punched the shit out of him and smashed his Google Glass on the concrete. So he wrote a big article about it. A journalist wrote an article about how he got beat up for wearing the Google Glass. Pretty funny. Alright. So first, he's wearing the earpiece on the same side as the green lens of his specs. So the victim was wearing an HMD.
HMD, CD, DVD, what does it matter?
It was none of them actually, but anyway. You're sure that he was wearing the earpiece on the same side?
No question, I could only see that side of his head from where I was sitting.
Yeah, that's pretty obvious when you look at the floor plans. On the opposite table, you only have a view of the side of the victim's head. Alright, so you kept fiddling with it all the time. Shit. Okay. Why? As seems you kept an eye on Mr. Glenn Elg. I can't say his name.
He was getting on my nerves, rustling that newspaper and fiddling with his earpiece all the time. Then he went and made all that fuss, dying for one sip of Giavacino. I wanted to say to him, calm down, you young brat. Just looking at him made me suddenly speed up my seed eating. I could have choked.
So I think the victim was a walking ball of nervous energy. Alright, so he was fiddling with it just before he picked up the cup, too. The earpiece you mentioned, which hand did the victim touch it with?
You're one of those people, aren't you? You're the type that uses your left hand to get things out of your right pocket. Or fastens your left cuff with your right hand.
And then, when the tour guide says on your right side, you'll see the famous blah blah. You're the one who deliberately looks left.
No, I didn't mean... Obviously, he used the hand on the same side of his body the earpiece was on.
So if he had the HMD on his left side, then it was his left hand, I guess. Oh my god, this is so funny. Alright, then he used the same hand to pick up the cup, his left hand. You seem very sure of yourself, Mr. Kudo.
That's because I know what I saw no matter what tricks you try to play on me.
It looks like you really did see the guy picking the cup up with his left hand. This is a dead end. Well, Nick, what do you think? I think the guy's telling the truth, but even so, something's not right. And Chuck evidence at him until he breaks. Maybe he's not lying, there couldn't be any contradictions in his testimony, right? Huh. Alright, we gotta figure this out because I'm running out of time. Let's say, we gotta figure out this shit out. Okay. Alright. I don't see anything wrong with this. Kept fiddling with it all the time. Fiddling with it just before he picked up the cup, too. He was fiddling with it just before he picked up the cup, too. Oh! There's no way he could have been listening to the radio in his left eardrum had been ruptured. We've got it. Here we go. We got him. Nice. I'm not sure what the relevance of this is, but... Mr. Kudo, there is something very strange about the observations of the victim. Here we go. What? You say he was wearing the earpiece on the same side as the HMD.
No question, you can lock me up if I'm wrong. It was his left ear, without a doubt. I can only see that side of the head from where I was sitting.
I don't think so.
What did you say?
You're no doubt unaware of this fact, Mr. Kudo, but the victim couldn't hear with his left ear. His eardrum would have been ruptured.
Eh?
Traces of medication for his condition were found in his ear canal. That's right, it's impossible that the victim was wearing his earpiece in his left ear, because he couldn't even hear in that ear.
Is that true, Captain?
It is.
Pigeon?
He started eating. He said pigeon and started eating seeds. Order. This witness's testimony is completely unreliable. He only saw the wages from behind. And he claims the victim was wearing his earpiece when we know his eardrum was ruptured. Well, Mr. Godot? A single drop of milk is all it takes to destroy the pure black magic in the cup. This old man is my drop of milk.
Captain, are you calling me a drip?
This is the victim's coffee cup, which the potassium cyanide was found. The mark on the rim clearly shows the victim picked it up with his right hand.
I'll never back down, I know I'm right. The lad drank his Giavacino with his left hand.
Let me put you out of your misery. Clearly, the victim used both hands. He took a sip with the cup held in his right hand, and then he switched to his left. That's what the old man saw. Impossible. The witness has already testified on numerous occasions that the victim died immediately after taking just one sip of coffee.
Objection.
Ha! Which hand the victim used to pick up his cup is irrelevant, Your Honor. The facts still stand. With one hand or the other, Mr. L drank the poisoned coffee. Like this! Oh, la, 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 la. Sadly, Mr. Guido, that doesn't wash. The point of this testimony was to establish whether the witness's memory is credible. And the results are clear. The testimony given by this witness is useless!
I believe it is time to conclude today's proceedings. I am satisfied that the witness is not deceiving the court. But to be frank, his testimony is a farce.
Did you have to be so frank? Take that, you pompous old fogey!
Huh! I'm sorry, Mr. Kudo, you can't reach me from there. I'm ordering the defense and the prosecution to investigate this case further. That is all for now. This court is adjourned. Merry Christmas to all, and to all, a good night.
Wait, well, hold it.
Huh? Hoo-ha? Huh?
Wait! Can we stop now? Where does that leave me?
Leave you, Mr. Kudo.
Thanks to that blue-suited young upstart over there, I'm just a bumbling old man who can't even dot his own T's or cross his I's now.
How is your bad memory my fault?
I'm sorry, Mr. Kudo, but there's just nothing I can do.
I've kept my mouth shut until now. Oh, that's it. Now there's something else the court should know.
Uh-oh.
What?
There's more? To be perfectly honest, it might not be anything. But I want another chance. I want another crack at you, you young shark.
Me? He's looking at me like I'm some sort of evil shogun.
Well, everyone, what do you say on one final showdown?
Peanut Butter Panda Puffs just subbed for 4 months in a row. To keep up the good work, always enjoy your streams. Thank you, Peanut Butter Panda Puffs.
The final chapter in this eccentric old man's scrapbook.
Sorry, Gramps. I've already had my 17th cup of coffee.
What have you got to lose, Captain? I'll give you all the Javachino you want if you come to my house after the trial. I may be 68 years old, but Victor Kudo is still a man.
That's enough, witness. I believe it will be quicker for the court to just hear your testimony.
You bet. Much, much quicker.
I can't believe this is happening.
Ha ha ha! You better get ready, youngster.
I get the picture. Just quit throwing those seeds at me, would you? He's got to be using some sort of infinite ammo code with that box of seeds. Alright, I just want to hear his testimony, the final showdown. I seriously... Let's just hear what he has to say.
First of all, I want to stress this might be nothing. I'm not too sure of myself. The young boy slumped over the table as soon as he took one sip of his Javachino. Well, the clumsy idiot upset the vase. He knocked it right over. It broke, and the strip of cloth covering the table got completely soaked. Well, how about that? Turn things upside down, huh?
Oh my god.
Is that all?
Yes, that's all. I remember it perfectly. Hey, you're doubting me again? You're doubting a poor defenseless old man?
No, we're not doubting you, Mr. Kudo. Oh.
Don't you get the feeling there's a question hanging on everyone's lipstick? Yeah. So what? Probably. That's all I could think of, and I have to cross-examine this stupid guy.
You're a bird brain. That's why that's all he...
Very well, Mr. Wright. Your final cross-examination, please.
Oh my god. So first, because I might not be too sure of myself. The court generally refers if witnesses are sure of themselves, Mr. Kudo.
Noisy brat! I'm warning you, I'm more savage than a macho man right now. You won't beat me with this testimony. This is the final battle.
Ow, ow! He's tugging those seats harder than ever. I better be careful. Come on, Nick, nail him. So he's talking about he slumped to the table as soon as he took one sip of the Javachino. The court has already heard the testimony, Mr. Kudo.
I know that. I was just setting the mood. How else am I supposed to build up the suspense, huh?
The suspense?
Yes, now what do you think? Should I work with the audience a bit more?
No. Please continue, Mr. Kudo, as quickly as possible.
Alright, now where was I? Ah, yes, the young boy slumped over the table and...
Alright, so he says he upset the vase and knocked it over. A vase, you say?
Yes, there are vases on all the tables in that place. There are accidents waiting to happen. They're practically begging to be knocked over.
Well, he's right about there being vases. I do remember seeing them too. There was a vase on the table when I ate lunch there. And you saw the moment the victim actually knocked over the vase?
Well, it's hard to say. It's a bit unclear. How do you really define, Okay, I get it. I heard it break, and the sight of it burned into my memory as clear as day. Ah!
Alright, then he said the stripper cloth covering the table got completely soaked. Soaked in water, you mean?
Yes, it splashed me on the knee as well.
You said you were sitting at a table across the room from the victim, correct? And yet, the water still managed to splash onto you?
It was cold. I clearly remember it splashing me.
Could the water really make it all the way across the other side of the room? And then he says, turn things upside down, huh? You mean the vase on the victim's table falling upside down and breaking?
The vase turned upside down, and my testimony is turning this case upside down. It's a joke. I just want everyone to hear it. What do you think, Captain?
I'm impressed by your ability to waste time. Joe hasn't raised any objections for a while now.
So you young show-off, with that scrap of information, I'm throwing down the gauntlet. If I lose this one, I'll take it like a man in the defeat.
Alright, well. Triple Dog daring us to challenge him. Where could we challenge him here? He says the strip of cloth covering the table got completely soaked. Oh, here you go. The vase is still upright. Mr. Kudo, this is a photograph of the crime scene.
Huh, so what?
Look carefully at the table. The vase is there, intact.
Huh?
Lost your tongue, Granddad?
I'm no granddad of yours, Hopscotch. Ow, 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 ow.
Enough. If you throw any more seeds in this courtroom, the cleaners are going to...
Ah!
What is it now?
I just remembered something.
Yes? Go on.
The broken vase. Haha, it was on my table.
What?
Well, you see, it startled me when that young lad collapsed. So I stood up. That must have been when it fell over. The vase on my table, I mean.
The vase on your table?
Yes, it was on my table, and that's how my grain came to be completely soaked.
Can we get this guy out of the fucking courtroom now, please?
Thank you, Mr. Kudo. You certainly earned your kudos for today.
I'd like to ask a question now. Have I been any use at all?
Perhaps that's something you should reflect on yourself, Mr. Kudo.
Wait a minute. If that's the case, there's more. I got more to say. Oh, yes, I remember something else.
Bailiff, escort the witness out of the courtroom.
Wait, listen to me.
Wow.
Well, we seem to have been considerably sidetracked. And I'm still not in a position to deliver a verdict. The defendant has not been positively identified as the waitress in question. Additionally, there are two disparities in the testimony we've heard thus far.
The mark on the coffee cup that the victim supposedly drank with his left hand, and the earpiece which was inserted into his left ear out of which we know he couldn't hear. Wow, Nick, you did it.
I therefore require both the defense and the prosecution to further investigate the facts.
Yes, Your Honor.
There's one more thing before I call today's session to an end.
One more thing, Your Honor?
The witness we just heard from. He is most insistent that his testimony should be of use, so he summarized it accordingly into this statement.
Okay.
You may each have a copy of it if you wish.
Whatever. The prosecution doesn't need props like that. Godot's really mad, huh? Yeah, I would be too.
Very well. Here you are then, Mr. Wright. There are 3 copies, my own, yours, and Mr. Godot's.
Oh, yes, Your Honor. Victor's testimony, added to the course, he says, when the incident occurred, I broke the vase at my seat I'm sorry. That's not even a haiku. When the incident occurred, I broke the vase at my seat. I'm sorry. Then it is, but then it's broken up. Oh my god. I'm sorry. This isn't a piece of testimony. More like a 5-year-old's apology. Oh my god. I just received a $20 anonymous tip. Someone says, keep up the awesome Ace Attorney playthrough, Phil. I hope you play sequels after this one too. Apollo Justice, Dual Destinies, and then Spirit of Justice. I love the games and love your gameplay of them. Maybe the next one during the next downtime period. Good lord. I think like 1 a year is my limit for these. Seriously. But, alright. Thank you to the anonymous $20 tipper. That is very nice of you here at the tail end of the stream. So thank you for that very much. Oh my goodness. That's not $20. There we go. So that would be 32. Thank you. Whoever that was, thank you, thank you. Alright. What the heck are we supposed to do with 3 copies of this?
That is all. This court is adjourned.
Oh, is that it? Oh, you know what? Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is obviously the logical stopping point. There's no reason for me to go any further. Perfect timing. My stream time is ended. Very nice. Okay. So thanks to everyone who watched tonight, whether you watched live on stream, whether you watched on YouTube on demand afterwards. Thanks to everyone who contributed. Reminder, if you watch these videos on YouTube, I'm putting a ton of effort into doing the voice acting, so please consider contributing. In the description of the video, there's a link to my tips. If you want to leave a tip for the amount of work I'm putting into this playthrough, I would definitely appreciate it, okay? But let's adjourn for the night. Let's save up, and we'll continue on from here next time. Very nice.